Hi, my name is Steve Berrios, and today I'd like to demonstrate some authentic Latin rhythms that you can apply on the drum set. But before I do, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of some great musicians who will be accompanying me today in the ensemble work that we'll do later on, starting with master drummer Mr. Carlos Patato Valdes, on piano Mr. Larry Willis, on bass Mr. Joe Santiago, and on percussion and vocals, Mr. Eddie Bobe. I have to make it I can't explain how important it is that you must know the conga drums in order to apply these patterns in an authentic way. The solo I just played covered all or most of what we'll do later on, and I'll break them down very simply and then I'll embellish on them. So if you give me a few seconds, I'll move over to the congas and start from the root. It's important that you understand the basic patterns to these three drums to apply it to that drum set. So I'll demonstrate very simply what's the lowest drum, or the basic drum, is called tumbadora. And the basic beat in guaguancó, and there's three types of guaguancó, which you should find out what those three types are, but I'll tell you this: yambú, guaguancó, and Colombia. And there's plenty of information so you can find out what the differences are. This is tumbadora. I'm playing this so you'll see how important it is that you must know this. Not to become a conga player or to get calluses on your fingers or whatever, but you have to know how this functions to know what your function is over there. I'll play it again, and then I'll play the tres golpe. Okay? Now this is the tres golpe, which is the answer to this low drum. This is the middle drum, and it goes like this. That's where it's coming from. Okay? So there's two gentlemen doing that, and then there's the highest drum, which is a solo drum, which is the quinto. So I'll do it slow. I'm just going to add a lower drum, which is what my bass drum usually plays. And that's like the orchestra, the battery of guaguancó. Okay, now we're going to play a tune with the band playing this basic rhythm, but there'll be three other drummers playing, and a piano and a bass player. So you have in mind a melody, so you know what you're playing off of, because you just can't do a drum solo with no melody or tune. So I think we'll do that now.
Miles de timba tocando en el cielo.
Miles de timba tocando en el cielo.
Tierra yo me muero, mañana voy pa'l cielo.
Miles de timba tocando en el cielo.
Tocando en el cielo, tocando en el cielo.
Miles de timba tocando en el cielo.
Tocando, tocando, tocando en el cielo.
Miles de timba tocando en el cielo.
Miles de timba en el cielo.
Miles de timba tocando en el cielo.
Miles de timba, caballero, en el cielo.
Miles de timba tocando en el cielo.
Con Steve y Patato para el cielo.
Miles de timba tocando en el cielo. Mamita, yo a ti te quiero, caballero, yo me muero.
Miles de timba tocando en el
Yo
cielo.
te lo juro, mi vida, que si usted se le va a
Miles de timba tocando en el
Yo
cielo.
te lo juro, muchuta, que yo te llevo dedos para el cielo.
Miles de timbas tocando.
Lo mismo te doy arriba que yo te pego en el suelo.
Miles de timbas tocando en el
Te lo
cielo.
juro por mi madre que tú siempre serás mi anhelo.
Miles de timbas tocando en el
Allá
cielo.
arriba y allá abajo, yo siempre seré tu abuelo.
Miles de timbas tocando en el cielo.
Caballero.
Miles de timbas tocando en el cielo. 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 Miles de timbas tocando en el cielo.
Pero te digo, muchacho, mira que ya se formó, ya se formó.
Se formó,
Ayer
se formó,
ya
se formó.
Oye, qué bueno.
Se formó, se formó, ya 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 se formó. Se formó la timba, se formó la timba, se formó la timba,
Se formó.
la timba,
Se formó.
se formó,
Se formó.
se formó, se formó, la timba buena, la timba buena, la timba rica, la timba buena, se formó, se formó, se formó, se formó, se formó, se formó, ya se formó, ya se formó, ya se formó.
Okay, that was a guaguancó in the traditional setting, but we just added a bass and a piano to it. The reason why I did that was so you'll know where it comes from and know what to play on the trap set, not to get in the way or interfere with those three drummers that would be playing along with you. You have to be very clear on that and know what you can play and what you can't play. Now I'd like to demonstrate a tune on the trap set with the ensemble. And then I'll break it down very slowly and then play it at tempo so you'll understand how all the patterns work against each other.
La la la, la la la, boku boku, Bocum, bocum. Toni, coma, coma. Bocum, bocum. Toni, coma, coma. Boforiba lo huiro, boforiba de baba. Boforiba lo huiro, boforiba de baba. Abajo y mao. Sí, apuro no tiene mi abu. Apuro no tiene mi abu. Mira como para allá. Pa oírle. Mi yeye, oh, mi yeye, oh. Pa oírle. Para la coco para allá, pachango y yemaya. Para la coco para allá, pachango y yemaya. Para la coco para allá, para la coco para allá, para la coco para allá, pachango y yemaya. Para la coco, para la timba buena te llama. Para la coco, la timba, la timba, la timba te llama. Para la coco, para allá, goza, pa goza, pa goza. Para la coco, para allá, para la coco para allá.
Okay, on this tune, it's also guaguancó or rumba, and I started out playing, I'm assimilating what somebody would play on a wood block, which is called palitos or guagua. So I'll demonstrate that not at the same tempo, at a slower tempo, so you understand where it's coming from. I'm not even going to count, you should just automatically hear it. So that pattern is called Palitos, and it's the basis. It works along with the clave. It's the underlying beat that goes through the drums improvising on top of that beat. That locks us in. Okay, and then I play a bell pattern. I'll play a simple bell pattern first and then expound on it so you can play it your way, okay? feet stays doing that. Okay? And then the bell keeps on riding. Okay, but when it's played in context with the rhythm section, I'll play it a little more at tempo so you see what it's supposed to sound like. If you practice that slowly, or I'll give another example later on, but if you practice that slowly, you'll find your own voice in how to play these bells in that context of the rumba setting. That's very important. I have to emphasize that this is rumba, but playing it on these drums that have nothing to do with that traditional form of music. So if you practice these patterns slowly, you'll start finding other little spaces to put a tom-tom or a bell, or you can have 20 bells or whatever according to how you feel. But if you do these patterns slowly, you'll find your own niche where to put it in a space, if it allows, okay? On this third and final piece with the ensemble, I will be employing all of the bells and the toms, snare drum, bass drum, and hi-hat. And when I'm done with that, I'll break it all down nice and slow. Bailala como yo.
Gózala, timba, patato, oye, suéname el tambor, por Dios, bailala como yo, gózala como yo.
This next pattern I'd like to share with you it comes from the Palitos, which do this, like I said earlier. But what I've done is I'm playing it with one hand. And with my left hand, I'm playing a clave, which is another part of the rhythm section who just plays the clave. So I'm playing two drummers at once, and it sounds something like this. If you play that real slow, you'll find how every beat falls in every two-bar phrases. I'll do it again slow. Now I'm going to add the hi-hat, which is another instrument in the rumba setting, which is called a maraca or achere. Now I'm going to add the bass drum, which is also part of that rhythm section, the tumbador, the bass note of the lowest drum. I'm adding on to the bass drum here. So these four limbs I'm using, it's actually taking the place of four musicians. So if you understand that and know where the pulse falls against those three drummers that are over there, I'm sure you can get a lot of benefit and enjoyment and make some new music. Because I have to make it clear, this drum set has nothing to do with that traditional rumba guaguancó setting. It's been something that's been it's been implied on. Now in this section, I'll be joined by Eddie Bobe. He'll start off playing a clave, and I'm going to simulate what three drummers would play on the congas, and then he's going to solo on top of it. But I'd like to demonstrate what I'm doing by myself And then when you see us do it together, it'll make a little more sense, hopefully. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm playing the tres golpe, which is one of the, and you have to seek out that information on your own. Tres golpe is one of the drums. I'm doing it on this high tom-tom, and I'm doing the tumbadora on the bass drum, and trying to simulate, again, achere with my sock cymbal, and trying to keep a clave with my right hand. So I'll try to do it again. Okay, now Eddie and myself will demonstrate how it's done between two of us. Now, keep in mind that Eddie's going to play 3 parts, and I'm playing 3 parts. He's going to start off with the clave, and then I'm going to simulate the 3 drummers that are over there, and then he's going to solo on top of me. Okay? Now I'd like to demonstrate another pattern that you can apply to the same kind of groove. And I'll do it, like I said, I'll do it real slow again. Then I'll play it a little more up the tempo so it makes a little more sense, okay? This pattern can be applied to any rumba setting. Like the other patterns I played with the bells and stuff, and on the side, you can also play this pattern and it'll work. And the more you play it, you'll find your own, like I said before, you'll find your own space to add a bell or a tom-tom or a hi-hat or however you feel after you get comfortable with it. I'll try it again. And then maybe I'll add some more little things, okay? Here's another variation on that. I'll add this bell to it, and I'll do some things with the hi-hat. It's basically the same thing. I'm just turning the beats around. I'm using other instruments to play that same pattern, which is, I just switched my hands, and now I'm playing the quarter notes with my right hand. So, sounds like this. So there's a few different patterns that you can use in this conga setting, or sorry, rumba setting. And after a while, you'll see what works best for you. But like I said, it's very personal. So you just have to search and stumble on things and make mistakes until you find where you feel comfortable and what makes sense musically. Okay? Now I'd like to demonstrate a cha-cha or like a son montuno, that kind of feeling, but it's very awkward playing it on this instrument. That's more built for timbales and bongo. But I'll give you an idea on how you could apply it on the drum set, okay? This is another example, and it's commonly called songo. And it's the simpler of the other patterns I played earlier, but here it goes. I hope that now that we've covered most of this, and there's so many rhythms that we can't cover them in one sitting, but I think I've given enough for you to go out and seek some more knowledge in this music. I'd like to acknowledge some musicians that have played a big role in my life, starting with Mr. Julito Collazo, who's a master drummer and took me under his wing. Also Mr. Mongo Santamaria, and you should buy any record by Mr. Mongo Santamaria, especially the folkloric records, and they can be found very easily if you do a little research. Things by Tito Puente, so you'll understand that type of rhythm section, which is timbal, conga, y bongo, as opposed to the rumba aspect of the trap set. Also anything by Los Bambang, because Changuito is the drummer on those records, on all of those records. Anything by La Ritmo Oriental, because it's another setting, it's violins, they call it charanga, violins and flute. And anything by Tito Puente, especially an album called Puente in Percussion. And you can get that on CD today. I also would like to thank my father, Steve Sr., who's also a master drummer, and for him exposing me to the music that I love and cherish dearly now. Thank you, and if you enjoyed this tape, please let me know.